cancel each other out. Sometimes maybe they don't, probabilistically. Sometimes, and within the uncertainty limit, of course, this shenanigan would not be happening, like there's an uncertainty limit that tells you sort of how much this can happen. But sometimes, maybe, basically the particle-antiparticle annihilation maybe doesn't happen. One of them falls in and one of them is emitted out. So to an observer at a distance, it will appear to have been emitted from the black hole if it does not annihilate with its partner and manages to sort of escape. The smaller the black hole, the shorter the distance the particle with negative energy will have to go before it becomes a real particle. And thus, the greater the rate of emission and the apparent temperature of the black hole. So again, this now it kind of makes sense that the temperature is more for smaller black holes, because the smaller the black hole, the shorter the distance the particle with negative energy will have to go before it becomes a real particle, and thus the greater the rate of emission. So if you're gonna escape instead of annihilate with your partner, it's better if you're trying to escape from a smaller black hole, right? And so those are the particles that are being emitted from, as observed by somebody else from outside, and that leads to having a temperature for that black hole. Because if you have a temperature, you must emit something. You must have a black body radiation, some kind of something, some thermal radiation. But because things escaping black holes was not really something we are super familiar with or really understand, this is why Stephen Hawking is doing all this work and coming up with the quantum fluctuations and particle-antiparticle partnerships and annihilation mistakes, or not mistakes, but misses, because of the uncertainty principle, for the thing to emit something, for the black hole to emit a particle or multiple particles. The positive energy of the outgoing radiation would be balanced by a flow of negative energy particles into the black hole. So this is another thing as well, which is that there is always that antiparticle. If you're talking about those quantum fluctuations happening, it's particle antiparticle. So there's also the antiparticle who may become a particle, who knows, who's going into the black hole. So the positive energy of the outgoing radiation would be balanced by a flow of negative energy particles into the black hole by Einstein's equation E equals mc squared, where E is energy, m is mass, and c is the speed of light. Energy is proportional to mass. A flow of negative energy into the black hole therefore reduces its mass. So now negative energy is going into the black hole, thank goodness, reducing its mass. As the black hole loses mass, the area of its event horizon gets smaller. But this decrease in the entropy of the black hole is more than compensated for by the entropy of the emitted radiation. So the second law is never violated. So this is how, this is where Birkenstein might not have expected this particular result, but that's what they're getting. So as the black hole loses mass, the area of its event horizon gets smaller, but this decrease in the entropy of the black hole is more than compensated for by the entropy of the emitted radiation because of that other particle, the partner who escaped. So the second law is never violated. Moreover, the lower the mass of the black hole, the higher its temperature. So we get that now. The lower the mass, more possible for something to be emitted. I think the temperature would just be lower for bigger black holes, for more massive black holes, but there would still be a temperature, probably. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing even the supermassive black holes have a temperature, but it's lower than for a less massive black hole, right? But we'll see. We'll see what he says. This is his thesis, not mine. I do believe that Stephen